Hey guys, I'm Cupid. I have schizophrenia, and I'm also studying to become a psychologist. I used to believe schizophrenia meant my life was over. Today, I see it as the strangest, most painful, and most sacred timeline of my soul. Let me walk you through it like a spiritual map in under 2 minutes. As a kid, I felt different. I saw patterns in everything, heard meanings in random words, felt energy in rooms. Adults called it imagination, anxiety, being too sensitive. I didn't have the language for it, but my inner world was already loud. Through my teen years, those subtle feelings kept growing. I'd have strange thoughts, moments where reality felt slightly tilted, like I was half in this world and half somewhere else. I was functioning, but inside it was getting harder to tell what was spiritual intuition and what was the beginning of symptoms. At 21, everything snapped. I had my first major episode. My mind felt like it exploded into symbolism and messages. It was terrifying and also bizarrely meaningful. No one around me was talking about it in a spiritual way. It was just, something is wrong with you. At 24, another episode. This time, it shook my identity. I remember thinking, am I broken, or is someone trying to wake me up? At 27, I finally got diagnosed with schizophrenia. Hearing that word was like a spiritual earthquake. Part of me felt relieved to have a name. Another part of me felt like my story had been stamped with a permanent ending. At 29, I had another episode. By then, I was exhausted. Symptoms hadn't really stopped between these ages. They just rose and fell like waves. I'd have stretches of normal life, then suddenly find myself in a completely different mental and spiritual landscape. I didn't start medication until I was 31. That decision was huge. For me, meds didn't erase my spirituality. They gave my nervous system enough stability so I could slowly start asking different questions. Not why am I cursed, but what if my brain works differently and I can still make something sacred out of that? At 34, I had a minor episode. It scared me, but it didn't crush me like before. Instead of only seeing illness, I started seeing a pattern. Every crisis had also pushed me to shed an old identity, to listen more closely to my intuition, to set boundaries, to care for my body, and to get more honest about my pain. And then at 36, I had what I call my breakthrough. Not a miracle cure, not a perfect life, but a deep shift. I stopped seeing schizophrenia as the enemy and started seeing my timeline as spiritually meaningful. My mind is different, my sensitivity is intense, my path is not normal, and that is not the end of my story. It's the texture of it. If you're watching this and you're in your first episode, or your fifth, if you're still waiting for a diagnosis or fighting with the one you already got, I want you to hear this clearly. This is not the end of your story. Your symptoms are real, your pain is real, and still your life can hold purpose, love, creativity, and spiritual depth. You are not just a label. You are a whole human being with a wild, complex, meaningful path. If you want more honest conversations about schizophrenia, spirituality, and turning your timeline into something meaningful, hit follow and subscribe. Tap the bell so you don't miss the next part of my story. And tell me in the comments, where are you on your own timeline right now? You are not alone. Thank you to all of my subscribers and followers for subscribing and following me. I really appreciate it. Keep sharing my videos. The more people I reach, the more people I can help. And I would love to help as many people as possible. Remember, I am on 3 different platforms with these videos: YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I have all kinds of different stuff on each platform, so please feel free to follow me on all 3 and check out my older posts. If there is anything you want me to talk about in my videos, please comment below and let me know. I will come up with a video for your topic. Be safe, be good to yourselves, and as always, I love you guys. Bye.